Have you ever felt like you're just drowning in information?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, like when you're trying to learn something new
Yeah.
or you want to research for a paper or a project,
Right?
it's like, where do you even begin?
Absolutely.
There's just so much out there.
It can be overwhelming.
Right. So that's what we're diving into today. We're looking at AI search tools
Okay.
and how they're changing the way we learn and do research,
Sounds good.
especially for students.
Yeah.
So we'll explore what these tools can actually do,
Right.
how people are using them, and
Yeah.
why it's so important to make sure the information you're getting is reliable.
Yeah, okay.
And then we'll even peek into the future a little bit
Oh,
to
yeah.
see how AI might shape how we learn down the road.
I like it.
Before we get into all that, though, just
Yeah.
a quick heads up.
Okay.
We pull information from all sorts of places
Right.
to make sure we're bringing you the latest and greatest.
Hey.
But all the AI stuff we talk about, it's really just for learning and entertainment.
Makes sense.
So use it responsibly,
Yeah,
ethically.
absolutely.
You know, this isn't professional advice or anything.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
just exploring some cool stuff together.
Yeah.
And, you know, what's really interesting is that it seems like younger generations are really leading the charge when it comes to using AI for learning.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But we're also seeing that a lot of people across all age groups are starting to use it for research, too.
It is interesting to see how quickly people are adopting these tools.
Yeah.
I think it speaks to how useful they can be.
Right.
So let's dive into what AI can actually do for education.
Okay.
You know, it's not about replacing learning altogether.
Right.
It's more about making it more efficient.
Okay.
So instead of spending hours and hours
Yeah.
just trying to find the right information,
Uh-huh.
AI can help you cut through all the noise.
Oh, so it's like having a super-powered research assistant.
Exactly.
Like can sift through everything and find what you actually need.
You got
So then you can focus on the thinking part.
right, the analysis, the
Yeah.
critical thinking.
That's amazing.
Imagine an AI tool
Okay.
that can pull up all these relevant academic sources based on what you're studying.
Wow.
That would free up so much time
Yeah.
for you to really dig into those sources,
Right.
compare different perspectives, and form your own opinions.
Yeah, it makes so much sense.
It's all about understanding the information.
not just finding it.
Exactly.
And we're already seeing this shift happening, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I remember seeing some stats about who's actually using these tools.
Yeah, those numbers were pretty impressive.
Can you remind me what they were?
Something like 38% of Gen Z
Wow.
are already using AI to help them learn.
That's a huge chunk of that generation.
It is.
And it's higher than any other generation.
Yeah, and I bet that number is only going to keep growing,
I would think so.
especially as those students move further along in their education.
Yeah.
And as the technology gets even better.
Okay, so we talked about learning in general, but let's zoom in on research
Oh.
because finding good, solid information is really crucial there.
It's the foundation.
Yeah.
So how are these AI tools changing the way people approach research?
Especially in academics,
Yeah, that's a good question.
because you have to be extra careful about your sources there.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, AI is definitely having an impact.
Big time.
I mean, we saw those numbers about how many adults are using AI for research.
Oh, yeah, across different generations, too.
Yeah, it was something like 47% of Gen X,
I think so.
and then over 43% of all respondents.
Right.
So that tells me there's a real need for better ways to handle all that information out there.
Totally.
We need efficient ways to sort through it all.
Yeah.
Check if the sources are legit,
Uh-huh.
and then organize our findings.
Absolutely.
It's like AI is changing the whole research game.
Yeah, it's exciting, but it also raises some important questions.
Yeah, like how do we know if the information AI is giving us is actually trustworthy?
That is the million-dollar question.
Because now AI can just generate text.
Right.
So how do we know it's accurate?
That's where things get tricky.
Especially for students who need to be super sure about their sources.
Absolutely.
It's not like you can just rely on any old search engine anymore.
Not necessarily.
So what should we be looking for in an AI research tool?
The biggest thing is transparency.
Okay.
You want a tool that shows you exactly where the information is coming from.
Like showing you the sources.
Yeah, giving you citations,
Uh-huh.
links back to the original stuff.
That makes sense.
So you can check it out for yourself.
Right. And decide if it's a good source.
Exactly.
Are there any AI tools out there that are already doing this?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's good to hear.
This whole idea of citing your sources,
Uh-huh.
it's becoming a really big deal for AI tools that are aimed at students and researchers
I can see why.
because it lets you follow the trail back to the original source
Uh-huh.
and see if it's reliable.
So why is that so important in an academic setting?
Well, if you don't have clear sources,
Yeah.
You might accidentally use information that's not properly verified
Right.
or give credit where it's due.
Which is basically plagiarism.
Yeah, and that can get you in a lot of trouble.
Definitely.
But when you have those clear links,
Uh-huh.
it helps you do better research.
Makes sense.
And it builds trust in using AI for academic work.
Okay, so we've talked about the now,
Uh-huh.
but what about the future?
The future of learning,
Yeah, what does it look like with AI in the mix?
I think it could be a lot more personalized
Oh, interesting.
and a lot more efficient,
More efficient than it already is.
even more so.
Wow.
Imagine AI helping to create a learning plan
Okay.
that's tailored to your specific needs.
So not a one-size-fits-all approach.
No way.
It would be like having a personal tutor.
Kind of, yeah.
How would AI do that, though?
Well, it could help you break down complex information,
Uh-huh.
so it's easier to understand.
Okay.
It could give you feedback on your writing
Cool.
and suggest ways to improve.
Wow.
It could even help you grasp those really tough concepts.
Yeah, those ones that just don't click.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
It's all about making learning more engaging
Right.
and more effective.
So it's not just about finding information faster.
Nope.
It's about understanding it better and learning in a way that works for you.
Exactly.
That could really change the game for a lot of people.
I think so.
It could level the playing field.
Absolutely.
So everyone has access to good quality information.
And the support they need.
Yeah, no matter their learning style.
Or their background.
That's amazing.
As these AI tools keep getting better,
Uh-huh.
I think they have the potential to make education a much better experience.
What are you on?
Yeah, for learners all over the world.
This has been really eye-opening.
Me too.
I mean, AI search tools are clearly changing how we learn and do research.
They're powerful tools.
But we can't just blindly trust them.
Right.
We still need to think critically
Oh, yeah.
and make sure our information is coming from reliable sources.
That's the key takeaway.
Yeah, so here's something to think about.
Okay.
As AI becomes a bigger part of your life,
Huh.
how might your role as a learner change?
That's interesting.
Will you go from just being a receiver of information to
Yes.
someone who curates information
I like that.
and really evaluates it carefully?
That makes sense.
What skills will you need in this new world of learning?
That's a great question for everyone to ponder.
It is. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into AI search tools,
Yeah.
be sure to give it a like and subscribe.
And share it with your friends.
Exactly. And we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
Leave us a comment below.
That's it for today.
Thanks for joining us.